So guys, today we're going to talk about how you can stop standing up in the golf swing, get rid of the early extension and create some incredible power into the downswing.
So before we get into today's video, me and Nat have a giveaway for you. We've teamed up with American Golf and Pulse Roll to bring you a £400 bundle. Wow, this right here. Now watch throughout this video because at some point we'll be telling you exactly how you can win it. So now, what is exercise number one?
So exercise number one today is going to be a lateral lunge. So we haven't done too much lateral work in some of the exercises that we've done, but we were spoken before about how many people have commented saying early extension's a real problem, they're sick of standing up through the downswing. So we've brought this exercise in to try and help teach you some lateral movement into the downswing.
And I'm going to point out that all these exercises that Nat has for you today, you can do them and improvise with things at home. If you haven't got any weights, we've got some solutions for you.
Yeah. So first one, lateral lunge. Again, this does require an element of flexibility.
Okay.
So this is going to be a case of go to the depth that you can manage to start with and progress as you get better.
Because I know with these, like my first initial one or two, it's a bit stiff and then I sort of get into it.
Yeah, particularly for the men as well. The women tend to be better at this type of position, as you'll see. But what we're going to do is basically we're going to step to the right, we're going to load into the hip and the glute, we're going to develop some strength into that and push back out of it. So as a movement, it looks a little bit like this. So you're going to step to the side. As you step, this knee comes forwards and I'm going to sit my butt back this way, aiming to keep a straight leg here.
Yep.
This is going to be the difficult part for a lot of people because the flexibility is just not there.
That's what I would feel it straight away.
So if this feels a bit of an inhibitor, just let this knee go with you for now. Just let it buckle slightly and that'll give you a bit of the depth. And then from what we're going to do from there is basically push out of it. So as a movement, as one, we're going to step down, sit into it, keep the chest upright here, and I'm going to push out strong off that leg. Kind of similar to the speed work we did that time.
No, with the ski, was it this?
The skaters, that's it.
Where the side to side, and that was sort of like, I guess, a faster, more explosive version of this.
Yeah, and this one is about sitting into the glute, getting some tension, loading that side and getting the strength into the hips. Particularly if you think about if we're a right-handed golfer, we're moving to the left, there has to be an element of strength there to maintain that hip rotation.
Because that's what I think a lot of people don't realise. Like they might be trying to, oh, I can't stop this move, I really can't stop this move, but actually they've probably not got the strength to do it.
Yeah, if you think about the role of the pelvis here, basically I'm using my glutes to stop my pelvis shifting too far laterally. So we don't want it to come this way and slide into the backswing, we don't want it to slide into the downswing. So I need to use both my glutes here to maintain my pelvis position so I can rotate through and then again into the backswing. So this exercise is a real good one to try and help that.
So how many reps each side are we saying for this one?
I would start with 10 if you're intermediate, even less if you're a beginner, maybe 6 to 8. It's quite a tough exercise this. You should really feel the load as you're getting down into that side and we're pushing back out of it. And again, as we said, we've got some household objects, so we'll bring them in. So your ideal, I don't know if we class this as household really.
Not a household object, this
gym-based object. Your household object is a backpack.
Yeah.
Most people own a backpack, right? We've gone one step further because we've loaded it with golf balls.
3 dozen golf balls in there.
Are we allowed to say the brand?
Yeah, we can say the brand.
Strixon. There's some golf balls in there. Good old Z-Star. So we've loaded that with 3 dozen balls. What we're going to do is we're going to stick this on the back. So it's a little bit of added weight now. So what I'm going to do from here is as I sit down, I've got this weight pulling me back this way. Yeah. It's forcing me to do some more in the quads and in the glutes, and I'll spring back up like that. So that's one way you can add some weight to this. Your second way obviously would be to hold, you can do both if you want to hold the weight up at the top here in the goblet position. You're going to sink down into this and then you would push up, and you can really feel that push is so much harder with some added weight.
Do you find this? I think sometimes, and I know this, as a right, I used to play football, not to a very high level, so that sounded like a big statement, but I know if I do certain leg exercises, like my right feels a lot better than my left. So if people feel that, would you train one side more than the other, or would you just keep it the same?
I always like to try and keep things relatively equal. It depends on the person. You know, if you meet someone and they've got a real clear, obvious difference and discrepancy one side to the other, we may spend more time on one side. I think the best way to look at that is to do an extra set as opposed to less reps or more reps. So if you feel like you're better on the right than you are on the left, you add a set onto the left, but you still do 10 reps each side.
Fab. Okay, let's get into exercise number 2. We're taking it more into a pretty much a golf swing sort of thing now.
Yeah, we're looking at kind of moving the taking the movements a bit more golf specific essentially. So we've got a strength builder, then we've got to put that pattern into place. So for this one you just want an iron. Everyone's got an iron hopefully. So what we're going to do this time round, we're going to take a squat and we're going to move it into a follow through position. So we're going to just use the club on the shoulders as a bit of a guideline. I'm going to set up in a stance about shoulder width. So I'm going to squat down like this, just let the knees come forwards. I'm going to take that power up and turn it to the left. So I'll push up into my follow through position like this.
So doing that, you can't actually get this way. So just you turn down the line now and just show them on the screen there, because if you do this right, we don't have any of this.
Exactly.
Go this way.
I can't thrust myself forwards because I'm not going to get to the left.
Exactly.
So as I come down into this squat here, I can't come this way because I'm going to have to creep onto my toes, which is what a lot of people are doing in the downswing. So I'm going to squat down and I'm going to push around like this. So the squat up powers my movement to the left. So as I push down, I'm going to rotate into my follow through position with the club.
And would you make it quite an explosive move like you have there?
You want a little bit of force in this. If we think about trying to create a bit more ground force, which a lot of people are trying to do in their golf swing, that power's got to come down and it's got to come back up. So you have to take it down first to be able to have the speed on the way up.
Now I know you say on some exercises about doing it the same either side, but as a right-handed golfer, would I get any benefit doing it this way?
You can practice it. For me, I typically only use this on the downswing side because there'll be a few follow-on movements as you progress that we would take into that as well. I think there's always benefit in doing it both ways, but typically as a backswing movement, we're not really going to go down and pop up.
No, sure.
Hopefully not. So we want to translate this more to the downswing, I'd say.
So you'd think of, right, okay, how could I spend 10-15 minutes creating a nice workout is literally going from side to side with nothing, then maybe with a bag or maybe a kettlebell as well, and then finishing off with a more goal specific exercise.
Yeah, I think these two exercises work together nicely. It's sort of what you call like contrast training, where you've got a strength based exercise and you build it straight into a bit of speed work, and that sensation is there for the body to kind of correlate over to the following exercise.
Class, there you go. There is 2 exercises for you to do at home to get a little bit more power and stop standing up. So it's that time in the video. I'll tell you exactly how you can get your hands on the Pulse Roll giveaway. Now, I have one of these now and I find it really good getting in my old IT bands after a ride.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when you've been training, the next couple of days you might have some DOMs, some soreness, and it's that like really heavy legs feeling. It's hard to stretch, and that's where something like the Pulse Roll is really handy to have. You can get into the tissues of your body, create a bit of blood flow, and take away some of that waste that's causing a bit of the soreness.
So do you get some of your players to use these as well?
Yeah, I use one myself. I typically struggle with my calves quite a lot, so it's quite good to get into the areas that are really difficult to do on a foam roller, unless you've got someone that can help you, and if not, something like that tool is great.
Fab. So to be in with a chance to win, all you've got to do, subscribe to my channel, follow Nat over on Instagram as well, follow American Golf on YouTube, and comment down below #PulseRoll. Good luck, and the winner will be announced next week.